Builder's Guide, Navigating Interviews and Proposals Like a Pro. In this video, I'm going to talk to you about the typical process for interviews and proposals even before that, and how you can fit into it as a builder. This is crucial information that you need to know so that you can navigate this very scary effort. Stay with us. Okay, so I was able to multiple times go through this process and really learn to enjoy it after a while. It's pretty awkward at the beginning because you're presenting, you have to start talking in sound bites, which I have a hard time doing. You need to refine your message and connect with people, all while running your projects, doing your day job, and meeting this insane deadline where you're creating this artistic content. So it's a pretty big deal. Let me tell you a story. The proposal that I remember the most was for a medical school downtown Phoenix. It was pretty fantastic. And I got to be the project director on it. So when we started, we were able to follow an official process, which I'll talk to you about in a minute, and really gather as a team. Once we did that, we outlined it and had a solid vision and a solid strategy. And we pulled in the right people. And this is that story where the superintendent was like this passionate, just amazing individual with this really great personality. He's like, when I'm on this job, you're going to see this because of this and blah, 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 like just great passion. And I remember in the interview prep, I was like, we need more of that. And he was like, no, I was just kidding around like this. I'm just joking. I'm like, no. Connect, passion, we're going to win this job. And our team was cohesive. Our message was concise. It flowed. And the passion of the team and the connectedness of the team really made it so when we went in there, we wowed them. The client had already decided to give it to another contractor, but they're like, there's no way we're not going to select this team, and especially that superintendent. By the way, the super wasn't me. This guy was amazing and had some great passion. I said, I need more of that. In fact, I was like, your passion, it's like I got a fever. And like the only cure is more cowbell. It's more of what you just did. I said, more. And we won that and nailed the project, finished on time, beautiful quality. It was absolutely amazing. So I just am like stoked. Like, why not give everybody the same kind of tools that they can use throughout their experience doing proposals and interviews? So there's a lot to it, but at its basics, I want you to understand this. If you're a builder, you could be a super, you could be a PM, whatever it is, but if you're not used to doing this every day, let me explain to you that typically when there's an RFP, a request for proposal, or a request for qualifications, an RFQ, that will be either received by the contractor or sent to the general contractor. There's typically a go, no-go part of the process. What that means is this project in our red zone? The red zone is, do we like doing it? Are we good at it? And do we make money, right? Do we like doing it? Are we good at it? Do we make money? So look at those as three different circles, and if they intersect, that's your red zone. So we only want to do projects that we're good at, that we like, where we make money. So if it's a go, then typically your business development marketing team or whoever's in charge of this, it may even be the project executive or the project director, will send out the RFP, the RFQ documents to the proposing team. Now this is where you probably get a bit nervous and you're like, whoa, what am I doing? What have I just signed up for? You're going to have to stick to this outline. You need a kickoff meeting. This is where, whether you're on Teams or Zoom or you do it in person or it's a phone call, you literally get on the phone and you make sure that the team is rallying together, talking about the timelines, the overall vision, what's expected of each party, and understand who's responsible, what we're doing. Two things. Who's responsible, what we're doing. Who's responsible, what we're doing. Because a lot of times it's like hot potatoes. It's like, are you doing it? It's you do. Everybody wants to just do a little piece. One person's got to lead this, okay? And if it's you, you need to know. And if it's not you, you need to know who it is so you can take care of that individual and meet your commitment, okay? But in this meeting, if you can get everybody gathered together, you need to find the marketing or the proposal directive, meaning this is the message, right? It could be, we are the missing piece, or we're your collaborative team, or we are the IPD experts in the industry. Typically, you don't want to have 5 or 6 different messages going all over the place. Tell them one thing, tell them what you're going to tell them, tell it to them, and tell them what you've told them so the message sticks. So the directive is important because you, as the builder, need to make sure that you're in line with that directive and everything that you develop is in line with that. Now, once you have that directive, you have your breakouts. This is where everybody goes and does their work. I hope this is in collaborative software. I remember doing proposals where you're either on a live Google document, Microsoft Excel document, you're in a Bluebeam session, whatever it is, you're creating content out on your own, and then you huddle together to check and align it. Then you break out again after the reviews, you huddle again, and then you'll go ahead and deliver or submit that proposal, or you will go ahead and present in your interview. Really, this process is the same for either. So if it's a proposal, you're just doing this for a written proposal. If this is for an interview, you're simply preparing the interview and the slides. But the key thing that I want to communicate to you is what your job is as a builder. So as a builder, what you're going to do is hit the like and wait a minute, hold on. No, we need to do that too. But I was talking, okay, I know what I was talking about. As a builder, what you need to be doing, especially once you understand the directive, is you'll immediately want to follow these steps. So step number 1, you want to find out what visuals do you need, okay? This is important. You may need, and I think typically what you're going to need is your macro level tact plan. You are going to need your zone maps. You are going to need your logistics drawing, okay? You might need other things like trailer drawings, your team organization drawings or whatever, but you'll also definitely as a base need anything from VDC, virtual design and construction. So if I'm a superintendent or a PM or somebody proposing here and I'm like, okay, I know what my part is, I know what my assignment is, then I've got to go ask for this. So I'll immediately start working on the master plan, the macro level tact plan. By the way, if you ever need help, we can help you. How we're going to zone out the project if you have the data. Put together a logistics drawing. Typically, the RFQ wants to know that. And then you're definitely going to want to showcase some really killer 4D models, 4D schedules, or 3D logistics plans, or at least an overall view, an isometric view of the project so that you can basically draw on it and tell your message. Now, these are going to make their way. Let's say that your proposal is in 11 by 17, normal format, not landscape. These images are going to end up in here, okay? Wherever they end up as a part of the written proposal, or it would be in landscape in your actual interview slide deck. But you have to understand that these are going to go into an overall message. As a builder, you want to know what that message is in relation to the visuals. And oh my gosh, this is getting so good. So you're going to talk about this, this. What is your message and your outline? The OPER, or the one person ultimately responsible for this effort, can make sure that this is in line. This is what you would write in a written proposal, or this is what you would practice for your interview. Now, this is where it's going to get remarkable. If you're like, okay, Jay Money, I understand, fit into the process, understand what we're doing, go ahead and start making the deliverables, ask the VDC group to start making my model content, find my outline, what am I doing? This is the good part. This is why you should like and subscribe to this video, is that you're going to find no less than 3 things that solves the owner's problem, okay? So hopefully you can tie it to the maps, but you're like, hey owner, problem number 1 is this. Problem number 2 is this. Problem number 3 is this, and we're already working on it and we have a solution. So what this should amount to is that we're not talking about working on their project, we're working on their project. And they already see, oh my gosh, this team is not only fairly risk-free or risk-free, but they're already seeing the problems that we're going to face, and they have a plan. And oh my gosh, when these other contractors propose, they're not talking about this. They don't have a plan. I'm going to select this contractor. And so when you go in there, don't talk about, hey, we do 3D images and I do a schedule. Everybody does a schedule. Don't talk about, I'm going to schedule your project. I'm going to create a logistics plan. I'm a really good superintendent. Don't do that. Talk about, this is what we've already made. You expect us to do this. We've identified this problem. These are options. This problem, these are options. This problem, here are the options. We're ready to solve this and to keep you off the news and to make sure that you're successful. And that's how you approach this. So when I say a builder's guide to proposals and interviews, find out where you are in the process, ask for the right deliverables, find your talking points, but the main thing is find your problems that you're going to solve for the client. That's when you win. I'm going to give you this information in a beautifully formatted Canva graphic. And if you ever need help, we do this at LeanTech. Put us in. We've got you covered. The other thing is we've detailed out this content beautifully in a book coming out August 1st, 2024 called Elevating Construction First Planners. Check it out. I know you're going to love it. On we go.